Making sense of the insane. You're listening to The Charlie Kirk Show.
All right, welcome back to The Charlie Kirk Show. Got our mobile setup here. By the way, we got to go mobilebitcoin.com studio. This is a thing that we're getting back into here, mobilebitcoin.com studio. But in the meantime, I want to tell you guys about whyrefi.com. The good folks over at Whyrefi have been so good to this show, so good to Charlie in the past, so good to Turning Point in the present, and we're so grateful to them. And what they do is they take your distressed or defaulted private student loans that other people won't touch, and they help you create a custom loan payment plan that you can manage each and every month. So if you right now are looking at a pile of bills and statements on your kitchen table that are just piling up and you're getting behind and you're stressed out and you're just ignoring them at this point, don't be that guy. Take control of your financial situation. Go to the good folks at whyrefi.com. That's YREFY.com. And they're going to help you with a payment plan you can manage. Even if you have bad credit, even if you're behind, they're going to set you up in a way that you have financial independence, financial security. You can make your monthly payments, live within your means. That's the key. So go to whyrefi.com or dial 888-YREFI34. That's YREFY.com. Check it out today. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Charlie Kirk Show. Hopefully we have 3:30 loaded. I believe we do. I want to play this. This is Speaker Johnson coming out against President Trump's tweets. Let's call them truths in anger. Totally understandable. And it's 31 days into a government shutdown. The Democrats have not shown any desire to negotiate in good faith. So we understand where it's coming from. Play cut 3:30.
What you're seeing is an expression of the president's anger at the situation. He is as angry as I am and the American people are about this madness. Do your basic job. I'm going to say this again. We have put zero Republican policy priorities on the CR. It is Biden-level policies and spending. They have no excuse at all not to support it. They have no excuse to put all this pain on the American people, except that for what we've just articulated and repeated here every day.
All right, so Blake, this is obviously Speaker Johnson trying to do a little damage control, but I think Trump is dead serious. I think he's fed up. He's throwing his hands up in the air and he wants to do this.
He is, but I think you think about how Trump likes to approach things. Trump generally is a guy who's very much what is immediately in front of me. He's a guy who wants wins. He's you don't want to say he's a guy who's looking directly in front of him, and so he's thinking, I have a problem now. What could resolve that problem now? And people say like, oh well, the filibuster keeps us from doing this, and he'd say, let's get rid of it. And we're getting a lot of emails from different directions, and I want to flag. One person said, for example, we got an email from Greg here who says, nuke the filibuster, fix everything, then put it back.
But also we have one saying when Dems take control, first thing on their list will be to end the filibuster. So why don't we just do it?
So a few thoughts there. First of all, Democrats had power under Biden, and they did not manage to get rid of the filibuster. They had Joe Manchin didn't want to vote to do it. Kirsten Sinema didn't want to vote to do it. Now, both of those people are gone, so that would be an argument. Maybe next time they will get rid of it. On the other hand, you might also see next time there could be a different Democrat who decides they enjoy the power from being the most right-wing Democrat. Yeah. That gave them a lot of influence. That gave them a lot of play in Washington. There's always the temptation to be that. So it's always been harder to kill the filibuster than people expect. I've been around for 20 years. People have been telling me the Democrats will nuke the filibuster the next time they're in power, and they haven't done it yet. So there's that factor. The other thing about, that get rid of it and put it back. And we're looking at, this is the power of norms. This is the power of tradition. The truth is, once the filibuster is destroyed, it will be gone. That's the way of it. Yet there is this power it exerts as long as it exists. So you can't really get rid of it and then put it back because it could just be voted away again. What has kept it in place is the fact that it is in place. And so if you're going to approach the matter of getting rid of the filibuster, of making it a 50-vote thing instead of a 60-vote thing, you do have to think about the timing of it. What really will justify you getting rid of it? And I'd say the only, in my opinion, strong argument in favor of this is, at least if you're doing this, you're probably, to bring back SNAP, you're probably doing it for something that most Americans generally approve of, Whereas if you're nuking the filibuster to push a very strong right-wing priority that maybe isn't polling 80-20, that could produce some political blowback. But that's why you want to do it at the start of your term, too. You do your most aggressive, most ambitious stuff right at the outset. Whereas if we're getting rid of it now, we're unlikely to pass any of those big immigration reform things we want to do because they'll be all nervous. They won't want to do big, ambitious stuff during the midterm election year.
Well, here's what I would say. Trump is not going to have the votes to get rid of the filibuster, right? I mean, let's just be honest. We've got 4 Republicans that have just gone against him on tariffs. Right, it's going to die in the House. It's dead in the water, anyways. But you're not going to get the filibuster nuked, anyways. The question I have is more of a theoretical question: would we be better off without the filibuster? Both ways. Here's my thought: the Democrats have more lasting change that they can accomplish with Puerto Rico and Washington D.C. becoming states. You can't undo that if that happens. You can't roll those things back, really. I mean, you could probably. But it's highly unlikely. I'd give it a 0.001% chance that once you create 2 states, you could undo the creation of states. I don't know what the legalities of that are. Those are 2 lasting, permanent changes that they could affect within the body politics. So the question is, do we have similarly worthwhile changes that we could affect? Could we create East Washington, East Oregon? I don't know. But the point is, the options at the disposal of the Democrats are far scarier than the options we have. Now, I do believe that immigration, it would be such a huge, huge change to the country, but I'm still not convinced that we have the votes for that. I guarantee you, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Rand Paul, these guys would still try and block a really robust immigration reform policy, even if we nuked the filibuster.
Yeah, I think in the long run, this is a longer session. Maybe we should even go through the break to discuss this, because in the long run,
sure.
I do think there's let's do that. Let's go into the break because I want to give a long answer to that. Like, the filibusters had a very warping effect on American federal politics, and it's very interesting what would happen if we got rid of it. Let's get into that in the break.